It's that time of the show where I open up my mailbag, I answer questions, and tonight I'm doing it with the IPA's Gideon Rozner. Welcome, Gideon. It's great to have you back. Now, this is not a viewer question.
Great to be back.
I've got to kick it off with this. This is an epic fail. Billi FitzSimons, daughter of Peter FitzSimons and the nameless, shameless media personality, put up a photo in the Daily Aus. It's a Sydney Harbour Bridge celebrating the flying of the Aboriginal flag over it, except they photoshopped the German flag in there. How do you take away from this, Gideon?
Well, the colours are all correct, so that's sort of a pass mark, I suppose. But look, the official explanation is that one of the web designers was doing a mock-up and it accidentally got published. What I'd like to know is what was the mock-up for, in case there was a story about, recognising the traditional German owners of the land on which we live and so on. But look, the wash-up of all this is I haven't heard of this website before. It's just an Instagram account. It's not bad, I must say, looking at the content, having checked it out. And I think this has given it a lot of publicity. So this might have been the best thing to happen to Billi FitzSimons.
It might well be. All right, what about this? Checkmate. That's a guy on Twitter. He asks, what do you and your guests believe is ideal size for the efficient and effective use of government? Well, I'm going to kick it off. Wasn't it a percentage of GDP or something, Gideon, that people found 17% of GDP and government expenditure was something around the mark of most efficiency?
Way too high, Corey. I mean, come on. As a libertarian, I have to say the government should do three things. The government should only do things that the private sector or the voluntary sector cannot. And those things are the defence, the police force, and dispute resolution through the courts. Anything other than that is superfluous. You look at ministerial government websites these days. We have a minister for the arts. We have a minister for industry. We have a minister in Victoria for creative industries. What does the state have to do with creative industries? I know, throw money at them. There's a building here in Melbourne, a 4-storey building in Treasury Place that is the office of, federal ministers and so on. At one point, the entire federal bureaucracy was contained in that tiny 4-storey building. What we have to do in Australia is cram them all back in again.
Yeah, and watch them flee from the decision-making process if they're crammed into tiny little offices. PMAC asks, is there any chance of a royal commission into energy pricing and renewables? I don't think there is. Do you? Nah,
of course not. But look, even if there was, facts don't matter in this debate. Even if we flush out the facts, they won't matter. Nobody cares, for example, that Australia only emits 2% or something or less of the world's carbon dioxide emissions, so anything we do won't make a difference. Nobody cares that China isn't acting on climate and they emit in 16 days what Australia emits in a year. People don't even care about the fact that renewable energy relies on the wind and the sun, which in the main isn't available all the time, and that no country anywhere ever has created the storage capacity to make up for that. The technology just isn't there. Facts don't matter in this debate, Corey. This is a religious, paganistic movement, not a environmental or scientific one anymore.
You're absolutely right there, Gideon. All right, finally tonight, Rob asks, why should Adam Bandt, there's that man again, even be allowed near an Australian flag? Well, Gideon, that would only provide more strength to his arm, wouldn't it, to give him exactly what he wanted?
Look, I'm going to surprise you and defend Adam Bandt to a point. Now, don't get me wrong. What he did was historically ignorant. It was offensive and it was idiotic. But it didn't happen in a vacuum. It wasn't Adam Bandt who approved the national curriculum which teaches primary school students that Australia Day and Anzac Day are contested. It was a coalition education minister that approved that curriculum. It's not Adam Bandt only who's supporting this racist and superfluous so-called voice to Parliament. It's every ASX company in the country. It's not Adam Bandt who made Qantas announce a welcome to country when you land at domestic airports like what happens now. It was Alan Joyce. Adam Bandt doesn't run Qantas. The point is that the flag is contested because we have allowed for it to be contested, because we have created a culture in which it's okay to, it's an acceptable notion to say I'm ashamed of the flag, and a culture in which Adam Bandt, he leads a party now with 16 members of Parliament. Adam Bandt will always do what Adam Bandt does, but why is he getting the support he's getting?
We're out of time. We've got to push back harder. You always do. It's great to have you back on, Bernardi. Thank you for your time tonight.